So let me take this opportunity to welcome Mark Otieno in our Sportswave Insight and Insight moment. This is where we get to talk to our athletes on their mindset and, of course, on their professional achievements. So, Mark, please welcome to our podcast. And, of course, happy to have you here this evening.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'll just like to have a conversation, not an interview. Just about your training, generally how you as Mark, as a person, just to get to know you better and whatever you have achieved and whatever you intend to achieve in your career. Yeah. So probably I would just start by asking you, what do you do beside athletics?
Well, I think what I do is I'm a mentor actually in my church. I do work with teenagers. So I think that's a part of ministry of me that most people don't know that I do.
Oh,
And
okay.
apart from that, right now, since I'm in my, let me just say I don't know if I can say late stage or even mid stage of my career. I'm trying to transition into coaching actually. So that's one thing that I've been thinking about and I've stepped into it a little, but been in the it's been in the talks and it's been in the works at the same time.
That's part of you that I didn't know of. But for those who do not know you more,
Yes.
Mark is also an world athletics relay silver medalist, 3 times national champion, and has emerged in the top 3 times in all African games and African championships.
Yeah.
And has a personal best of 10.5 seconds. That was in 2021.
Actually, it's 05.
10.05.
Yes.
Yeah, so most people probably don't know much about you, but you are one of the top short races, guys in Kenya. And I believe you are one of the first, athletes that made people know that Kenya has a potential in short races.
Yes, actually represented the country in World Athletics in 2017, both 100 and 200.
2017.
Yes.
That's when we discovered that, we could also.
At least we have a test that you can do also sprints.
So how did you discover that you could run that fast?
Well, I can say that I actually started at a young age, but I didn't see it as it can grow up into a career. But I think I started taking it seriously while I was in high school, when I started progressing from one profession to another. So I was just seeing that this thing can be possible to, make it as a full-time job. So when I finished high school, that's when I realized that I haven't, sprints wasn't advertised that much, or it wasn't been in the limelight that we do have sprints in this country. But I think at one point I saw Boniface Moresa while I was in high school, that I knew, oh, he was the only 400 meters. So I'm like, that's the only sprinter who's available back then. But after that, I was like, when I finish high school, this is the only thing that I want to do, and I want to make sprints known, especially for this country.
Moresa still runs. At what point did you get to meet Omanyala?
I think I remember he came to my training group back in 2016 because he transitioned from rugby. Yeah, so when he came, he had I think he had an injury. It was a collarbone injury. So he just wanted to kind of try sprints. So he came only for one day. Then after that, he vanished. I don't know where he
Okay.
went. But I
Okay.
think he got another coach. That's where he started working with Coach Dan. So we met him at one point at there's a place called Klabu near Nairobi University where guys usually go have lunch over there. So I think we met him during that time when he was in the university. So we asked him where he went. So he got another coach, Coach Dan. So we were like, it's fine. So that's how we met.
Oh, so when he vanished, he was still trying, short sprints, huh?
Yes,
Ah,
yes, yes.
okay.
Actually, he didn't stay with us that long. So he trained
Okay.
like a day or two. Then after that, maybe it was a bit of the distance. But so now
Mm.
when he trained with Coach Dan, I think it kind of makes sense for him because he trained at Nairobi University, which they do have grounds, rather than when he was from Nairobi University, he used to come all the way to Pangani to train, which
Okay.
was quite a distance. Yeah.
Oh, so you trained at Pangani?
Yes, I used to train at Pangani at one point, behind the
I,
Pangani police station.
I know the place. That's where I trained my weightlifting.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and I still go there. I used to stay at
Oh,
Pangani,
Still
but
City.
yeah, Still City. Yeah, Still City is, well, I started training there in 1996.
Oh my, that place
Yeah,
then it has memories.
yeah. So Still City means a lot to some of us who have been in the sport of weightlifting.
Yeah, that's where I knew that
Ah,
it was introduced to
okay.
me for in track and field.
Okay. I know last year must have been very disappointing. You were looking forward to making it to Paris, and
Mm,
missing out, I know, was not easy to handle. So, what is your next strategy in terms of we have Commonwealth coming up, and
mm,
of course now LA
mm.
2028. Do you still have ambitions to compete at that high level?
Yeah, for sure. Cause okay, I'll say last year I was a bit disappointed, but I think I had a meeting with myself and also with my team just to kind of see the pros and cons of what happened last year. But other than that, I didn't want to put pressure on myself, especially I was just feeling like it was my year coming back. And I was like, if I don't make it, it's fine. If I make it, I believe it's the Lord that has opened that door. Because I was
Mm.
like, if I take that step, I was really, I'll be so encouraged and so proud that I've, I've actually come out
Yes, yes,
from a
yes.
suspension, then qualifying for Olympics. But I was really impressed because I was this close qualifying, running a 10-1-2 a season's best. Because I was really struggling, getting my body back in shape and running 10-3s consistently. And at one point, I was really sick. Then tried to, balance everything and travel to South Africa, try to look for races and
Mm.
try and bring my body back to where it was. But at the end of the trials, I was really proud of myself just running a 10-1. I was like, fine, I've achieved this. Even though I haven't made it, at least I can see my potential that I was this close making it. And now looking forward, I'm like, oh, since next day is World Championships in Tokyo, I'm like, I still have another opportunity. I don't see age as the limit. I still have, let me say around 9 years in this sport, God willing. So I'm still looking at World Championship next year. I'm still looking at LA, Olympic Games, and I'm still looking at the Commonwealth, which is coming in next year. So,
Mm-hmm.
and also more World Championships that which is in the years that when they announce that World Championship will be the final event. So I'm
Selection,
like,
yes.
I'm still looking forward to those.
Oh, that's tricky one. That's tricky.
Mm,
How do you balance choosing races vis-a-vis putting your body in shape, and of
mhm,
course looking at now the new criteria of qualifying to the Olympics, you
mhm.
know. Uh, do you have a plan in terms of how many races you can do in a year and at what intervals?
I think uh, we haven't tapped into how many we can do,
Mm.
but for us, it's just a matter of running fast in every race that comes, especially since someone who hasn't qualified. Of course, every race is an opportunity for you to kind of get close to your qualifying mark. Or if you have qualified, every race is for you to make you better before the main event, which is the World Championship. So it's just a matter of you sharpening in each and every race. I think looking for races, it's I can say my manager does that. He normally looks for races, and also I can check either the previous races that I did last year, if the area that I went, either in Europe that was fast, we can look into it and see that we can add that into our list, or he can bring a whole list and we can choose where we want to go. So sometimes he does the scouting of where we want to race. And I think when now you're on the very, very, very top level, some races can give you an invite. Like for example, Diamond League, they normally invite top athletes. Yeah.
What I want to find out is, as you choose the races to go to, do you consider like you've rested well enough? Do you, okay, like different people respond differently. You could
Yes.
have like three races in a month, yeah, or three races in 2 months. Now people respond differently. There are people who can
Yes.
do a race after the other, and their body will still respond. But some people must take some time, like maybe 3 weeks to recover, or a month to recover, or even a week to recover before they can do another race. So what I'm trying to find out here is, you as Mark, you have a systematic way of choosing races based on how you've trained and based on your body recovery, how your body can recover quick or fast.
I think if races are close enough, you won't recover. I'll say, okay, you'll recover, but you won't recover that much. You'll still maintain the same type of level that you are. I can say for me is that I normally choose races with, for example, if I've worked for more than 5 months and I know that there's a specific race that we're looking up to. So it's just a matter of us is just to step in, especially on your first race, is to step in and kind of gauge where you are. And if the race is like in the next 2 to 3 weeks, it's now a matter of correction of where you did right or where you did wrong, or try and as much as possible to add something on top of what you did on your first race. The first race is normally a welcoming, like, oh, you've come out of your season, you've done a lot of loading. So let's check where you are with other people. You run a 10-1. Oh, that's nice. So now your next race needs to be kind of a bit faster. Either you run a 10-0 or you either maintain where you are. It depends with where your coach really wants.
So it's not something you sit down at the beginning of the year and say that this year I want to do 10, I want to do 8 or 5, so that you maintain that level of performance.
Yeah. I think when you sit down and then check how guys are performing, especially this year, that's the way you've said. I think people are different with how they respond towards races. There are people who will race well and recover well, and they'll perform, and of course, sometimes not overdo it, so that by the time you're in your championships, you're not already burnt out. And there are some people who are doing it either strategically. Like, for example, like I remember Bolt used to do like around 5 races before the main championship. So he normally selects his Diamond League strategically. So by the time he reaches for the final event, he can perform way higher. Then after that, you can see him now go one Diamond League after another, one Diamond League after another. Just of course, based on you're collecting money and you're trying to maintain and finish on a high note.
Okay. This could be a little bit personal. What's your current body weight?
I don't mind it being personal. I do I'd say for me personally, it fluctuates. I can say there are times where let me give you an estimate, it can be 85, and there are times where it can go up to 86, 87. Then it still drops to 85. So it keeps playing around that area. But the best time where I normally do my weight, I normally check my weight is towards a competition. That's where for me it normally matters. Towards when I'm training, going for a run or something like that, if I check yesterday, like, oh, I was somewhere at around 85, maybe today might be the same or maybe lower. So I normally check my weight well towards competition. That's why it normally matters a lot.
So when did you first take your body weight? 2021, were you
I know
still 85?
2021 it started rising from there because of lifting weight.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, so the more you lift, so I realized it's your muscle tends to keep growing.
Yes,
And
yes,
then
yes,
it's
yes.
normally, yeah, it normally plays 85, 86, 85, 86. So the stronger you are. But the good thing is we are not bulking.
Just power.
Yes, just power
Trying
and
to
more
get
strength.
power. Okay. And have
Yeah.
you and do you feel or think that 85 is your best ideal running weight, or you could bring it down or even higher?
Um, okay, because I've been checking other people's weight and I'm just trying to see how is it working? Because I know the heaviest sprinter is 100 kgs and he has a sub 10. He's a guy from Liberia. And I know Bolt was around 96. Now if you check guys who are around the height of Justin Gatlin, 6 foot over there, they're around 86, 85, somewhere there. And even people like Johan Blake and Tyson Gay, they were playing around that figure. And nowadays now I'm seeing people like Noah Lyles is like around 77 kgs. So it depends with people's body type.
Your frame, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it depends with people's body type. So there are people who are 85, they're 80 and they can run pretty well. For me, if I go up to that, let me say I tried at one point, I think I reached 83. I felt like I was so light
But,
that I'm
but
carrying nothing.
have you tried a lighter body weight? Have you tried to come down to maybe 76? You said you are 80, you do 80?
Yes, I'm 85.
85. Have you tried like
Yes.
70, like 82, 80, 82, or even 78?
I think the farthest that I've gotten close is 80, 83. I've tried 83. Yes.
I wish you could like try and um, work with certain body weights. Like you say, 83, I
Mm-hmm.
want to train with 83 for like 1 month, 2 months, and then you look at your
Mm-hmm.
performance, lower it
Mm-hmm.
to maybe 80, see how it works,
Mm-hmm.
then, again, move back to
Mm-hmm.
85, 84 there and see how it
Mm-hmm.
works for you. Because I think body weight plays a big role also in terms of
Yes, it
speed.
does.
Yes.
Mm,
Just comparing yourself to others might not give you a correct indicator of what works well for you. Yeah.
mm,
So probably you can record, just
mm-hmm.
purposely work on your body weight. Because I remember I had
Mm,
a conversation with one of the top sprinters in Kenya some time back,
mm,
I think after 2017, after 2021, 2022 World Championship. Was it 2022?
mm,
2023,
mm,
2022, 23 World Championship, Budapest.
mm-hmm.
And
Budapest, yeah.
apparently they did not take note of their body weight. So
Mm,
I hadn't factored in that as an aspect of, what could enhance
uh,
or even deter their performance. So
mm,
right now they're keen on their body weight, but I don't think
mm-hmm.
they've really managed to get it right because it's just the same thing I'm telling you. You have to find out, do a research on what works well for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Mm-hmm.
just do a research on what body weight works for you. It could add some
Mm,
few seconds to your speed.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And maybe another thing, you've mentioned these big names in the sprints. How do you react when you meet them? Do you feel scared, or how do you manage yourself around them?
Actually, I'm always excited meeting other
Yeah.
top sprinters because there are times I do have questions where I do I love to learn and I just want to know how they handle one, two, three things or yeah, that things that maybe I'm struggling with and maybe they can help me out with the same issue because we're in the same field. But I normally tend to not be scared when, especially when you meet them, either in the food lounge or something like that, because majority of them we are friends And when we meet, it's just a matter of catch up and just to see how people are doing. And the good thing is that, of course, they're not detached with the world, but they also get to know, of course, your story of course, even where you are at. And that's a good thing as well. But of course, when you're on the starting line, that's when the adrenaline, of course, tends to rush because now you're on the get, now you're on the field now trying to, you know, you're trying to run. So I think that's where now the tension normally comes. But outside, yeah, it's normally just having fun and getting to know each other.
I'm talking about the start line because I understand some are very intimidative and they want to show you that
Mm.
know, you are not yet there. You shouldn't even, try. So
um,
maybe
oh
you
yeah.
talk to yourself. Maybe there's some. Do you ever talk to yourself at the start line?
Let me just okay, at the start line, to be honest, I just pray. That's the only thing that I do because when I pray, I think it makes me just to focus more on just everything that I've done, not to focus with the people around me, just to focus on God at the moment and just to kind of ease the tension that I have. And sometimes, of course, tension is not bad because my coach normally says when you have the adrenaline, it's a good thing. That means that you really run fast. So at the moment when I'm there, I'm just tend to, kind of relax, kind of stay focused, pray a bit, just to kind of gather everything around because it's the moment that you are there. And of course, it's a privilege. I do not take it for granted. And you're really having to represent your country at a bigger stage and everyone is watching you and you're ready to, do your thing.
There is this spiritual teacher called Wayne Dyer. He did
Mm-hmm.
a research
Mm-hmm.
on sprinters,
Mm,
and he came up with this conclusion that when you go on that start line and you
mm,
focus on defeating your opponent, you see,
mm,
like for example, you and Omanyala,
mm,
when you go on the start line and your attention is just on Omanyala,
mm,
yeah, not focusing on how you want to perform. Like whatever you
mm,
said, you just pray, When you pray
mm,
to God to help you do your best, just do your best
mm,
without
mm,
checking on the opponent or looking at, competing with the
mm,
opponent. You get
mm.
distracted. So he said,
Yeah.
if you
Mm-hmm.
go on that start line and pray to God to help you do your best without, thinking about the opponents or whom you want to defeat, yeah,
Mm,
it will be a
mm,
disaster. So I like what you said. You just pray and focus on
mm-hmm.
doing your best, other than
Yeah.
looking at whoever is on your side and
Mm.
whoever you want to show, some you want to discipline.
I think I've learned throughout the years because if you try to run to beat someone, let's say for example, let's say okay, you're in a race, and then I'm like, okay, today I just want to beat this person. And
Mm,
then you end up running 10-1. You haven't accomplished anything. Fine,
mm,
yes, you've beaten him, but the time is slow. You get?
yes, yes,
Yeah, but if you today, like if you come and you know that you want to learn, that you want to, kind of better yourself and you want to run fast, no
mm,
matter what position you're in, you might end up coming up with a personal best. You might end up coming
yes,
either with something that you've never achieved even in your
yeah,
lifetime career. Yeah.
yeah. So you compete against yourself, not against others.
Y- yes.
To the fans, they will be happy you've defeated, so and so.
To the fans, yeah.
But to you, you may be disappointed because your time you didn't do a better time. Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Mm,
So it seems like your advice would be to tell other sprinters other sprinters at the start line just to pray and focus on doing better, not on
yeah.
defeating their fellow, competitors.
And I think another advice that I can always tell them is that you have to learn to lose to win. Because that's one thing I think we're not taught on how to manage that. Because I think we're always taught on how to, we have to win every single thing. Every single time we have to win. But the thing is, especially when it comes to athletics, it can really, it's a sport that can really humble you any day. Because you might think that you're the best of the best, but when you step in that field, there are people who are also the best of the best. They are ahead of you.
Yeah, some
So
people. Okay.
Yeah, so I always tell people,
Mm,
yeah, that even if you lose, no matter what, just check on that day how you feeling. How did you accomplish today's run? Did you feel better? Was it better than the previous run? Fine, you became number five. Were you getting closer to the target that you wanted to achieve today? Things like that. But if maybe you entered and your aim was just to win, 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 win,
mm, mm.
and then at one point if you lose, you feel like the whole world has crumbled.
So, so there is what we call losing gracefully. You don't lose bitterly.
Yes,
You just
yes.
look at the circumstances, look at your
Mm-hmm,
performance, and of course,
mm-hmm.
live to fight another day. It's not the end of everything. And again,
Yeah, for sure.
sometimes weather, wind, they talk about wind assistance, they talk about maybe rain or something, you
Yeah,
know.
and I think one thing that my coach has taught me well is that on every day it's that's if for example let's say today you're supposed to give 100%. Let's
Mm,
say for example you're doing 100 meters and 100% is for example let's say you're clocking 9 seconds in during training like 9 9 yes 9 9 there 10 0, just that's hand timing. And for example let's say you came and maybe you ran 10 2, you ran 10 threes, and then you're still sticking over there. Of course, you're not supposed. Of course, maybe you might be upset because you're not seeing the times are dropping or something. But if on that day that's your 100%, that's your 100%. You can't change that. And then the next week it might end up getting better. Maybe there's something that's happening. Maybe it's fatigue that has piled. Maybe that day you didn't wake up well. Maybe you slept late or something like that. So if that day you showed up and you ran um kind of bit slower times, that's your 100%. And if that's what came out today, you can't force it. You go back, you regroup, come back again. If the next session is next week, it gets better. It might end up now starting to improve because I've seen it with my training session. This week might be bad, and next week it gets even much, much, much better.
okay, so you've mentioned about diet, good rest, you
Yes,
know, weather, or being at your system being, at being, well, or
mm,
prepared for the activity.
yes.
Uh, so tell me about your diet. What makes you
Oh, what makes me?
tick diet? What do you when what do you eat? What do you eat that when you eat you feel you are energized and you feel that your body is
Um, oh, I think in the morning I normally take carbohydrates because of energy. So before you go for your training session, so things like sweet potatoes, things like oats. So those are things that I normally look up to, especially in the morning. And during lunchtime, it can either be something light, like either rice or gali, or yeah, something like that, or beans. And as long as my plate has a bit of protein just to kind of help my muscle to recover, that's normally the things that I normally look up to.
so you train twice a day or just once?
Nowadays, it depends. There are days where I'm training twice, there are days now I'm training once.
Okay. Do you record your trainings?
Oh, yes, I do. I do have my training program from 2021. Ever since I met my coach from South Africa, that's the number one thing I learned from him. He told me you have to journal every single thing that you're doing.
Mm.
So I think that gave me a good indicator. So every day, whichever training session that we have, I put it down. I write the phase that you're in. I write the exercise that you're doing, all of them down, the weights. I put it down. So I write also what I'm feeling after. Even the next day, I also have to check up with him, letting him know that today I'm feeling kind of low. Today I'm feeling kind of energetic because of yesterday's work. So today's run, this is what I timed. Even though it's bad, even though it's good, I still have to journal it so that when we still come to the same kind of phase, either 2 to 3 years ahead, if the same feeling still comes, at least I can go back 2 years back and see like, oh, at this one point, this is what happened. So it's nothing that it's new to me. So yeah, he taught me how to kind of put everything, to note everything down. So it's been helping me.
Have you plotted any graph on your timings?
Um, I haven't learned to plot a graph, but I can check with how I do it weekly. Because I normally put week one, this is what I've run, week two, this is how I've run. Then I keep checking how it fluctuates, how it goes. But there are times where we normally say we need it consistently. So after checking 2 to 3 weeks, oh,
Mm.
sorry. After checking 2 to 3 weeks, I still check now. Now we start getting it. Now the run starts getting consistently. So I think that's how I normally check my runs every week.
Be a simpler way of getting to understand a few things would be like you look at the 10 races you did last time,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
look at the interval, the periods, the interval between
mm-hmm,
one race to the next race, and then
mm,
look at the times that you achieved.
mm,
It will help you understand like the rest period.
mm-hmm,
Yeah. And also like if I rest for 2 weeks, I rest for 3 weeks, I'm able to achieve this. And then if
mm,
you would also do the body weight thing, whenever you
mm,
go
mm-hmm,
for training, take your body weight every day and look
mm-hmm,
at your timings. It will help you understand on which, averagely which weight works for you. And
mm,
again, in terms of even improving on speed,
mm-hmm,
uh, you can take, you can do like in statistics, they call these things like mean, media, weighted average.
mm,
Can help you do that,
mm-hmm,
just to help you be a little bit scientific in terms of, trying to
mm,
monitor your performance, because you have to
mm-hmm,
work all around diet,
mm,
rest, training,
mm,
just to get that ideal uh, condition that helps you to do what you
mm,
want to do best. Yeah. So besides just recording how you feel,
mm-hmm,
put down your weight, put down the times, put down the positions, take the international races that you did last year
mm-hmm,
or year before, and just see what
mm-hmm,
positions you got and what timings you achieved, and probably the duration between one race and the other race, and then plot it.
mm.
I did that with
Okay.
one of the sprinters, and we discovered that rest plays a very important role, even though some people
Mm-hmm,
don't think so. Uh,
mm,
the guy did around 23 races in 1 year, and
mm,
which did not really work well for him. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah. Not short races, even the 5,000, the 10Ks, and yeah.
mm.
It helps you understand your body. And
Oh yeah, true.
yeah, helps you understand your body and how your body works with different foods, with different environment, with different body weight.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah. So just try and see that or talk to your coach. You could talk to your
Okay.
coach and see how best
Mm-hmm,
you could come up with some graphs that would help
mm-hmm.
you, of course you have the data that would help
Yes.
you, make some analysis and draw some conclusions that can help you or even today or even in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think maybe I would also want to find out from you, why is it that Kenyan ladies are doing better than men? You look at the past international championships, you see ladies winning more than
Mhm.
men. Do you think
Mm.
what could be the issue?
Um, Truth to be told, it's a very tough thing to look into because we don't even know what's
Mm.
happening around. Maybe I'll say it's a mindset thing, especially towards the men. And maybe I don't know if people, when we reach a specific place, it's like it's hands off, like oh, we've achieved just to making it to this team. And right now it's just a matter of whatever happens, happens, and not, I think, fighting it to the end. But I think it all comes down to mental when it comes to all this. Because I don't know what's happening with the ladies. Because I've seen them. Yes, it's true what you said. Like they are really performing. But when it comes to the men, I think it all comes down to the mental state. We don't know everyone's mental state whenever they step into a championship. maybe someone said something negative in their few hours or the next a day towards the race. So everything just goes out. All your work that you've done just goes out to the drain. Maybe it's a relationship issue. You never know. So it's just all everything mixed up. Because I believe everyone who has stepped in there, everyone has worked. Everyone
Yeah.
has worked for, yeah, everyone has worked for that event. But
Mm.
there's always something that happens just a few days before. Either they've eaten junk food the day before, or they've eaten something that's unnecessary. Yeah. So things like that.
Tell me, I've
Mm,
always wondered, huh? I don't know whether this would be right or not. Do you
mm-hmm,
think the timing of the Kenya national trials,
mm-hmm,
the time they conduct the trials to make it to the national team, and the duration
mm-hmm,
that you'll have to take at the national camp before your main
mm-hmm,
competition, do you think it has an
mm-hmm,
effect? Because I know people really fight and struggle to make it to the national team. And then after making to the national team, when it comes to the real competition, then they're not able to give their best. Do you
mm,
think the timing is okay, or as you say that now it becomes mental? Once you made it to the team, when it comes to the big stage, then
mm,
you don't have that
mm,
drive, or is it the work that you did prior to making it
mm,
to that stage that has drained you completely, that you're not able to
mm.
marshal up back that
Oh,
drive?
I think over because now since the standards have already gone up, so now everyone works towards even trying to qualifying on the maybe on the trials or something like that. But what I've really seen is that I believe the times that the dates that they normally put for the trials is perfect. But I think the mistake that normally happens is if they shift the dates. So for example, let's say you have nationals that let me use an example like last year when we had I think it was the trials and we had trials on a specific not trials nationals on a specific week. Guys were really prepared. Maybe you and your coach you have really worked in that week. Something good was supposed to come up. Then all of a sudden there was a shift that they took the nationals to the next. They postponed the nationals to the next week, and they took it to a different stadium. Which, if you run, still the times won't be ratified. Now they took the nationals to Lindsay. So now you see, like I was telling you, like it depends with how weekly you keep performing. Maybe this week things are getting better, and then next week there's something else will come up. So some things like that. And then I think when people now qualify, um, I think now this comes down to the coaching aspect on how you tip an athlete towards a specific now major event. Because
Mm.
right now you have 2 to 3 weeks towards now the major event, and you've already qualified you in the camp. So now it's a matter of now you sharpening, not now you going and start loading the athletes again on top. Same case that what normally happens in US trials. If you see the US trials, they normally run fast in the US trials. You might end up somebody running a 9.8, and that's what they've qualified with. But still, when they go to now the major championship, they'll either run even faster than that or maintain the same time. Because in that period, there's nothing more you can do. There's no magic that you can do. It's just a matter of you maintaining what you've been doing all through, and then now towards now the championships or towards the day, you are ready to go.
Yeah, I know that can really affect your focus when the dates are shifted. Now
Yes, it can.
you
Mm.
mentioned about coaching. What do you think about the
Mm.
coaching system in Kenya?
I believe the coaching system in Kenya is that I can say it's learning. I can say it's growing at some point, and I believe in the near future things will get better. I believe things will get better. It's just a matter of trial and error because everything that you do, I always tell people whenever you're stepping into someone's hands, remember you're a lab rat. At any point, you're just a lab rat. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's coming up. So whenever you step into someone's hands and they really want to produce something out of you, no matter what the training that they bring, depends with this year, next year, and everything keeps everything keeps changing. And I believe every coach in this country, they are really striving to be the best of the best. And they really want to produce even more and more athletes in this country. So, and one thing that I've really learned, especially throughout my career for the past 10 years, is just that every year you keep growing as an athlete. Because one thing that, of course, which is always sad is that, of course, when someone shifts, they've been in this season with this coach, then next year they shift to another coach, then they keep shifting. Every year they keep moving, hopping
Changing
from one
coaches.
coach to another. Yes, or even in the middle of a season, you're changing coaches, and it kind of messes your body because whatever that the other previous coach was doing was something that was tailored to you. And that's something that I've really seen. And you have to finish and give someone time, even if it's 2 or 3 years, and then see if you are able to kind of change. And if you check top athletes, they don't hop immediately. You can see they've either stuck with a specific coach for more than either 5 years or 3 years or 4 years. Then after that, you can see, okay, now someone is able to change because, okay, maybe they've been stagnating for the past two
Okay.
years. You get,
So
yeah.
you think Kenyan coaches are better supported to do what they do? And again, maybe to add on that question, you've chosen a South African coach. Does it mean you didn't get a local coach that
I
could
did.
serve
No,
your interests?
no. I think I was under, let me say, three coaches here locally.
Okay.
Yeah, but as an athlete, when I tend to grow and I tend to learn, I my mind keeps opening. So every time I travel, there's more that keeps coming. And then after that, at one point, I had a US coach, but he was more of a long distance, but he was trying to transition into sprint. Then it worked out, but it didn't work out that well.
Mhm.
So when I actually the coach that who I'm with from South Africa kind of DM'd me from in Instagram. At that time, I think I was transitioning just to look for a coach. That was back in end of 2020,
Mm.
during the COVID times. And when we started talking, he told me that he has level 3 coaching for sprints. So at least for me, it gives me an edge in knowing that he knows what he's up against. And he at least he's been doing coaching for the past few years, and he has studied sprints coach for all his years, and now he has a level 3. Yeah, so when we sat down and had a talk, so at least what I had in mind of what sprints should be and how it should go, we kind of had kind of the same trajectory, and we kind of had the same line. So you were all synced together and what we were all both of us wanted. So for me, that's when now I synced with him and I was like, I
Okay.
can have him, yeah, to coach me. And I've been with him for the past 4 years.
Okay. And do you think
Mm.
Kenyan coaches are better supported?
Well, I think so, but I think it can be done. Something can also be done. I think we need more lecturers. That's all I can say. And I believe with more lecturers coming in either every month or after every 2 months, that can really help because, nowadays things on social media is what we are seeing. Because I've been seeing other training groups, either in the US or other places. What they normally do is they normally invite someone who are specialized in either movement or who are specialized in sprints. They just come, sit down, have a dialogue, have a talk with the coaches around so that they can make things better. Like, and I can use an example. For example, there's a group called Altis. It's in, I think, Arizona, somewhere there. So they normally have like more than, I think, 5 coaches in sprints, others from strength and conditioning. There's some people, they have, I think, more than 5 physiotherapists. So they have a camp over there. And I've seen other athletes going to that camp. Of course, they produce good athletes, and the Degrassi was one of them. And what I normally see in the social media is how they normally strategize on how they can better their athletes. So I think those are the one thing that I think it can really help us since we have people who have knowledge um, outside Kenya and also coaches who are around. I believe more lecturers, whenever they come, the more they educate us I think it can make us
Mm.
much be better.
The reason why I'm saying this is I know coaching has gone scientific. Modern sport is quite
Mm,
different from what used to happen before. So
yeah,
unless the coaching fraternity also adapts to the changes, you
yeah,
know,
that's true.
yeah,
Mm,
and if that is not well taken care of, if there are no structures to help that or educate and
mm,
develop local coaches,
mm,
I don't think
mm.
our performance will get better. We'll just be on the same, you know.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I agree with you.
So the faster or the quicker we embrace use of science, whatever we've been talking
Mm,
about, like keeping data for analysis, drawing graphs,
yeah,
getting specialists who can help you understand. You can go to a mathematician or a statistician to help you
yeah.
interpret that data,
Mm,
whatever you've
hmm
had since you say 2017, and you
mm.
will be surprised. You will be
Yeah,
surprised.
that's true.
Yeah, you'll be surprised with what you see. So I
Mm.
think
And I
we're
think,
almost coming to an end. Don't
oh
want to
yeah.
keep you for so long, but before I let
Mm.
you go, maybe any specific strategy that you have for the 2025 season?
I don't have any.
Nothing.
Let
Are
me
you
just say, I
going?
don't have any.
Do you want to? Do you want to
I,
change
I'm not.
anything, or you just want to remain the same and
Uh,
keep on working?
oh no, no, no. I can't remain the same. But I think there's a heart for 2025, and it's something that I've been eager to look for. I've been looking forward to this year, especially. I don't know. I think it's Tokyo or something. So I'm really looking forward to perform at a higher level. That's one thing that I'm really looking forward to 2025. Because despite the challenges that we are facing as a country in terms of not having access to the training grounds because of construction and of the football, but I believe with all this that's happening, there's something that is going to come up, especially in the next few months. And I believe that this year will be the year. And I just sat down and I was like, I'm just hoping that this is the year of that I've been looking forward to.
Okay.
And all the years that I've been training,
Mm.
and of course telling myself this is the year, this is the year. And I believe now when we're in 2025, um, now I think I have that heart of just to say like
Yeah.
this is the year that something good is going to come up.
Yeah, that's a good mindset and a positive way of looking at
Yes.
things. And I believe it all
Mm,
starts with your mindset, what you believe, what you have faith in. If you
hmm
believe you're gonna do well, I don't think there's anything that is going to stop you from doing well.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yes, and probably my last question is, if you look back 10 years ago,
hmm
is there anything you wished you could have known then that you're
I
knowing
think,
today? Mm.
oh, that I'm knowing today. I think, okay, the good thing is that all this that I'm experiencing, what you're experiencing right now, there's no one who has gone ahead to tell us this is going to happen. This is what you'll expect. This is what you. So we're experiencing by ourselves, and it's something new to us. But the good thing is now the people behind us won't suffer. So at least whenever they ask questions, we normally tend to give them advice, what to do and what not to do, what to expect, what not to expect. I think the advice that I can say is that I wish someone told me that to find something to fund this career or this dream because I always tell people that, and it's true, sprints is very expensive because it requires a lot of movement, a lot of financial movement because from transportation to gym fees to traveling between here to go to other countries to race, coming back, to have even to pay a physiotherapist. So all these things, I always tell people, no one told us that it's very expensive going forward. Like you require all this. When we started, I'll say it was quite a hassle because I remember when I used to train back in Kenya prison, I used to work because the money that you're given, of course, you have to budget it every week. So I used to work from Kenya prison. all the way to Ngara so that I can get a matatu to go home because I used to live at Parkland. That's where we used to stay, where my dad used to stay. So it used to be that kind of a hassle. So you're training way far and you still need money to go for training. So that's something that I think I didn't know.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why I think when we began, I asked you what do you do besides athletics?
Yeah,
Because it's not easy just to, train without having any other source of income.
yeah, that's true.
So, and I believe education is key in everything. If you
Mm-hmm,
studying it, when if you
mm-hmm,
studied and have some job or have some business, or even have a
mm-hmm.
sponsor, yeah,
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 I think I
that,
do. I do have a sponsor. I'm being sponsored by a company called Enda. I think if you know them. Yeah, so I'm yet to sign another new contract. So
mm,
they've been supporting me last year.
okay,
Yeah, so it's
that's
them who have
nice.
been, yeah, giving me the upkeep.
So don't disappoint them. Wish you well.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Wish you well, and pray that you achieve your dreams this year and even further.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Any last word you'd want to say before we bring this to a close?
No, I don't have any last word, but just to say thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity that you've given me and that we've shared a lot. Yeah, I hope it will bless someone out there.
Sure, 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 sure. Thank you so much also for creating time and sharing with us. I know people will learn out of this, and that's the main objective and purpose of this, so that people can learn from
Mm,
others who've gone ahead. So they don't have to
mm-hmm,
reinvent, just follow what has been done,
mm,
so that their life can be easy and, of course, to achieve the success that they want. Otherwise, thank you so
mm.
much for your time, and I hope we'll have another session, maybe at the end of 2025 or in the mid of 2025, see how much you progressed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Otherwise, have a good evening, and thank you so much for your time. I
Okay,
appreciate
you too. Thank you so much.
it. Yes. Have a good night.